Okay, welcome. And so yes, had a request for some twists this evening, which is interesting because what I was feeling myself was a kind of a cooling, soothing practice because it's very hot here today, and I got utterly attacked by ants earlier, and these pine processionary caterpillars. I don't know whether you've heard of them, but they're very itchy. So I've been feeling that kind of hot and bothered and itchy. So I was feeling this kind of soothing. And the twists more about kind of give the kind of the opposite of cooling in a way. They're more about activating our energy or detoxifying. But these two things can go well together. It will be more of a mixed bag. Hi, Linda, welcome. So we'll do a bit of cooling. Maybe we'll start a bit stronger, a bit more. The twist is more about the fire energy, and we'll kind of move more towards the cooling water energy. Okay, so let's just start seated. And we'll do two. Yeah, I think the theme has landed. I'm feeling this kind of fire water exploration. So we'll just do two breath techniques to begin with. We'll do the breath of fire, which is actually a cleansing technique. And then we'll do the shitali breath, which is a cooling breath technique. And then we'll get into some movement. So make sure you're seated comfortably. Sit on a block if you wish. So for the breath of fire, Kapalabhati, you can just rest the hands on the laps. You can take this mudra here where you tuck the first fingernail into the base of the thumb and extend the three fingers. This is often used in this technique. And I know many of you here have done this many times with me, but we have some new people, so I will explain. It's about drawing in the lower belly sharply as you exhale. As you draw in the muscles of the lower belly, this forces the breath out through the nose. And the inhale just happens. You don't need to worry about the inhale. So it's all happening in the lower belly. So I'll just quickly demonstrate. So it's a sharp drawing in, pushes the air out. You probably can't hear the breath too well because of being on Zoom, but that's what's happening. Okay, so do the best you can. If it's new and you're not entirely sure, just do the best you can. Try to only move this lower belly region. Try not to use the shoulders. Okay, so just start with a nice upright spine. We'll do 3 rounds. If at any point it gets too much or you feel dizzy, lightheaded, just stop, come into a nice calming, slow, deep breath. So before we begin, let's just connect to our breath. So maybe just closing the eyes. And just for a moment, just noticing your breath. And how is it this evening? This is simple act of noticing the breath brings us into the present moment. And just kind of let the day drop away, let all the demands on you today just drop away for the next hour and a bit. Just be present with your body, with your breath. And just if you haven't already, deepening the breath. So nice, slow, deep inhales, just really filling up the lungs, stretching and opening the chest, all the way up to the collarbones, keeping the shoulders relaxed, and exhaling all the way out. Welcoming. Just a few more nice, slow, deep breaths, rounds of breath. Just practicing full presence to the breath. The end of your next exhale, just kind of come out of that practice and we'll move into our Kapalabhati. So again, just try to, before we begin, just drop your awareness down into your lower belly. Just feel really super aware of the parts of your belly below the navel. This is the part we're going to work with. And we'll go when you're ready. So when you're ready, draw in those muscles, force it out through the nose, and just let the inhale take care of itself. Off we go. And release, just let the belly relax. Take some deep belly breaths. Maybe keep the eyes closed in between rounds and take your inner gaze to the space between the eyebrows. This is also called the skull shining breath. So just feeling the mind clear, the skull become polished through this breath. And you don't need to match my rhythm. You can find your own rhythm with this, as slow or as quick as you wish. If you are ready for another round, we'll go into another round. And relax. So in between, really let the belly relax. This strongly works the abdominals, the deep transverse abdominals and the outer abdominals. So strong work for the belly. So really just relax those muscles in between. Just let the belly stretch and open. Taking your inner gaze towards each other, the eyes towards each other and up towards the space between the eyebrows. Relax. Shoulders relaxed. And just notice how you feel. As I say, if you feel at all dizzy, lightheaded, just stay with this resting breath, this inner awareness. Otherwise, we'll go in for one more round of breath of fire. And relax. This time, just take a full inhale, maybe breathing through the mouth. Like you're sucking the air up, hold at the top of the inhale for just a few moments until you feel you need to breathe out. Hold for as long as you can comfortably. And then when you need to, exhale fully. And again, just go return to those deep, soft, belly opening breaths. Notice how you feel. Probably you're aware of your lower belly now, those muscles working, building that inner fire. But maybe there's also a cooling effect on the mind, a kind of blending, cooling and heating practices this evening. I often feel this clarity of the mind after this practice. And we're going to move into one more breath practice, shitali, the cooling breath. So I'll come a bit closer. This is that one that the full breath, you have to be able to roll your tongue like this. And I know not everyone can do this. It's genetic. So if you can't, there's still a way of doing it. I'll show you how to do it if you can first, and then I'll give the alternative. So we breathe in with the tongue rolled. And then we just relax the tongue and breathe out through the nose. As simple as that. And we'll just do maybe 10 rounds. Okay, breathing in and then relax the tongue behind the teeth, breathe out. So if any of you can't roll your tongue, your alternative is to put the tip of the tongue just behind the top teeth. So the tip of your tongue's just touching the root of your two top front teeth. And then you kind of suck the air in through your gap in the lips, and you'll feel the same cooling effect. The air is rushing over the tongue and evaporating. And as we may or may not know, when it evaporates, that creates a cooling effect. So it's literally a cooling breath. Okay, so if you've already started, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to do between 5 and 10 when you're ready. So taking a deep breath in, choosing your tongue position. Relax as you exhale, just breathe through the nose with the lips gently parted. Sorry, gently closed. And keep that going. Really fill the lungs as you breathe in. Exhale fully as you breathe out with the lips gently closed. Breathing through the nose. Breathe in through the mouth. Out through the nose. This is a really good one to do if you're hot and sticky and you don't know what to do with yourself. A few more. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Let's do about 3 more rounds. And Finishing the last one is the last round your arm, just completing. And again, just pause for a moment when you finish to just feel the effects of the practice. Maybe you do feel a bit cooler in the mouth, that kind of minty, fresh, cool feeling. And it's supposed to be very cooling for the whole system, calming, cooling, soothing breath. So when you're ready, join me. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Just make your way onto your hands and knees. And we'll start to warm up the body. So starting with cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, shoulders back, look up to your eyebrows. Exhale, tailbone tucks under, press those hands, stretch the upper spine to the ceiling, chin to the chest. So just move between those positions. Try to add the eyes to this. So at the end of the inhale, you're looking up to your eyebrows. And at the end of the exhale, you're looking down the tip of your nose, or you're looking as far down as possible on the exhale and as far up as possible on the inhale. So we just get to work those eye muscles that get very lazy, tiring, especially if we do a lot of screen time. Moving with the breath. And then at the end of your next exhale, come to a neutral spine. And we'll just put a little bit of fire in. So first of all, just stretch your right leg out behind you, just so you're on the ball of the right foot. So the heel is stretching to the wall behind you. So we'll get a little bit of a stretch first. If you don't feel much of a stretch, take the hands a little bit further forward and you'll get a bit more of a stretch on the back of the right leg. Just breathe into the right calf and the back of the ankle here. For some people, this is super intense. For some people, it's quite subtle. It's good to stretch this lower leg. And then if you took your hands forward, bring them back underneath the shoulders. Lift the lower belly up towards the spine and lift that right leg up in line with the hip, more or less. And if possible, take the left hand forward. So we've got this diagonal stretch. If it's too much, keep the left hand on the floor. We're going to hold here for a couple more breaths and then we're going to add something else. Okay, take a deep inhale in the full stretch. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the elbow and the knee together underneath. We're going to do this 4 times. Inhale, open, extend. Exhale, elbow, knee together. So just again, stoking the internal fire a little bit. Just do 4 with your own breath count. Contracting on the exhale, opening on the inhale. I know it's strong work on that wrist, that right wrist. When you've done 4, lower the left hand, the right knee, and we'll just ease the wrist. So just drop the hips onto the heels with the knees together and lift up onto your fingertips here. So the wrists are stretching the other way, kind of decompressing. You can drop the head down and we get a little shoulder stretch. And just allowing the wrist to stretch. Breathing into the lower back. And then coming back up to your tabletop, same for the other side. So when you feel ready, return to the neutral spine. And this time we're stretching the left foot out behind us or on the ball of the left foot. And the heel is stretching to the wall behind you. Again, there's that option to take the hands forward if you need more. And just take a few slow, deep breaths, feeling that opening, the lower calf, the Achilles tendon. And then if you took your hands forward, bring them back underneath the shoulders, lift the lower belly up towards the spine, suck up the lower belly and lift that left leg. So it doesn't need to be high, in line with the hip, and stretch the right arm forward, diagonal stretch, fingertips to toes. Just pause here, taking 2 or 3 slow, deep breaths, keep lifting the lower belly up to the spine, connect your pelvic floor, and then take a big inhale in the extended position, and exhale, squeeze elbow, knee together. And again, just with your breath 4 times. Inhale, open, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend in your own time. And when you've done 4, bring it all down. Right hand, left knee down. And once again, drop the hips onto the heels, knees together. Come high onto the fingertips. So TPing the fingers. Drop the head. Breathe into that stretch. There's a bit of a stretch around the shoulders off the back. And also into the lower back and hips. So just deep breath here. We'll just give the wrists a little bit of more attention. So just slowly from here, come up to kneel. And just cross your finger, interlace your fingers, and just roll the wrists. So you keep the palms together, come a bit closer again, and the elbows more or less together. It can be a little bit apart, and we're just rolling, mobilizing the wrists. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. And then see if you can change direction, which is really confusing for the brain. If it doesn't work for you, it's fine to keep going in the same direction. Just rolling around here. Okay. And then just bring the hands together and press the backs of the hands together. If you're very tight, the elbows will probably be lifted. We're all going to see if we can drop the elbows. So if you're more open, elbows might even go below the wrists like mine do, but don't worry if they're up here. But as best we can, we drop the elbows to wherever they can go to without losing the contact of the back of the wrist. And just pause. Great, and then slowly just release, maybe give the hands and fingers a wriggle. Okay, so we're going to come into Anahatasana, a cooling posture. So the hips are above the knees and we walk the hands forwards. We keep the hips above the knees and we drop the chest down towards the floor. So you may need a block under the head. We want the head on the floor or a block. If you're very open in that chest and upper back, it might be your chin, but don't force it. So keep hips over the knees, that's it. And then take the hands forward, melt the chest, that's it. Take some slow, deep breaths. If it feels too much, just be a bit more strong in the arms, more like downward dog arms, lift up a little bit if it feels too much to just completely melt. But if it feels comfortable, just drop the chest. This is Anahatasana, Anahata being the heart chakra. So we're really dropping the heart, opening the heart here. Breathing into our chest, our upper back, our shoulders. And then at the end of your next exhale, slowly walk the hands back in. We're going to come all the way back into that child's pose, hips onto the heels, and we'll start to flow a little bit, but we'll build it up slowly. Just take a couple of breaths in child's pose. And then inhale up to tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale down to Ashtangasana, so bring the chin and the chest down in front of the hands. And then inhale up to a back bend. It could be a baby cobra, or it could be higher. Taking an extra breath here. And then we're going to exhale all the way back to child's pose. So in one big move, coming back. We're just going to do that a couple more times. So take a couple of breaths in child's pose. Big, deep breaths. And then inhale up to tabletop. Exhale, Ashtangasana, hips stay up. We take the chin and the chest down in front of the hands and we inhale up to a back bend, would be cobra or upward dog. Taking an extra breath in our back bend and then exhaling all the way back down, child's pose. I'm just taking 2 or 3 slow deep breaths here. Last time, inhale tabletop. Exhale Ashtangasana, hips stay up, chin and chest down. Inhale back bend, maybe a little bit deeper this time. Take an extra breath, draw the shoulders back, chest forward. And then this time we'll come back to downward dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips, stretch those hips up and back, downward dog. If you want to stick with child's pose, that's absolutely fine. Whenever we do downward dog, child's pose is always an option. Spreading the fingertips, spreading the toes, looking back towards the feet. Draw the lower belly up towards the spine, connect to your pelvic floor. Deep breaths, bending the knees if you need. Couple more slow, deep breaths. Try to probe the back with your breath. Open up the tight areas with your breath from within. And then at the end of your next exhale, look forward. We're going to walk or step the feet towards the hands. You can bring the hands off the floor. Bring the hands onto your shins. Feet are parallel and underneath the hips. And just open up the chest here or the spine. So you're looking forward. If you need to bend the knees, that's fine. It's almost a little bit of a back bend. We're opening the chest, extending the spine. And then from here, exhale, drop the head. And you can either let the arms dangle or hold the opposite shoulder, elbow, and just kind of hang here, maybe just gently nodding the head forwards and backwards to relax the torso, maybe side to side, swaying the torso slightly. So the torso is very relaxed and the legs are very strong and supportive. And the feet are active. Draw the lower belly up to the spine. Couple more breaths. And then because we're working with the fire a little bit to begin with, we're going to come into a deep squat. So from here, bend the knees deep and take the hands forward. So your arms are parallel with the floor. And maybe for some of your thighs might almost be parallel with the floor or higher. But we're going to draw the tailbone under, draw the lower belly in, connect to the pelvic floor, and put your weight more in your heels than your toes. And we're going to take 3 more breaths. 1, 2, maybe think a bit lower, last one. 3, now come all the way up, press through the legs, come up to stand, stretch the arms up, and exhale, bring the hands to the side. And just stay at mountain pose at the front of your mat. I'm just going to turn the incense off. A bit smoky in here. Okay, too much incense. So we're now at the front of the mat and we're going to take mountain pose. So just bring the shoulders up to the ears, back down, and just take a moment here in stillness to integrate all that we've done so far. So maybe just closing the eyes, trying to find this plumb line of balance through the center of the body, from the crown of the head all the way down through the center of the pelvic bowl. So we drop the tailbone for most of us. We draw the lower belly in, firm the thighs, and keep those shoulders back and down. Gently drawing the chin in to elongate the back of the neck. And just let the breath settle. We're going to start with half salutations and then move into some slow sun salutations. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to inhale, take the hands up. Arms touch, exhale, forward fold, drop the head, bend the knees if you need. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop the head again. This time we come up, inhale, press through the feet, come all the way up, arms touch above the head, and exhale, hands to the side. With simple flow, 2 more times. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold, drop the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen. You might want to bring your hands onto the shins again. Exhale, drop the head, folding in. Inhale, press through the feet, come all the way up, palms touch, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. Okay, and we'll do 1 more. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, fold, dropping the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, arms touch, look up, exhale, back to the mountain pose. Pause, connect to your breath. We're just going to take that into a full salutation, but each one I'll just offer a little variation. Okay, so we'll take it nice and slow, just 3 rounds. So when you're ready, inhale, take it up, arms touch, look up, exhale, forward fold. If you need to put extra breath in, do. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back to either tabletop with the knees down or plank, but either way, shoulders over the wrists. We're inhaling here, and on your next exhale, lower down, so maybe with the knees off the floor, or as before, knees down, chin and the chest down. Inhale, take it into a back bend, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, back to downward dog. Or, of course, child's pose is always there. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. 2 or 3 slow, deep breaths. And then when you're ready, just look forward and bring your right foot between your hands. So some of you will be able to step the right foot forward from here. Some of you might need to come onto your knees and maybe even pick up that right ankle and place it there. Keep the left foot on the floor, the top of the left foot, and sink the hips a little bit. Try not to completely dump if you're quite open. So keep some integrity in the legs, and then inhale, raise the hands. If you prefer to keep the hands on the floor, that's fine. But if it's available, palms touch, looking up, and we're squeezing the inner thighs together. We're drawing the lower belly in, dropping the tailbone. One more deep breath here, opening the chest. Very nice. And then exhale, take the hands down, slide the hips back, come onto the right heel, and forward fold over the front leg. So you might need to keep a bend in that right leg. This is a hamstring stretch, half splits. Keep that right foot very flexed, so the toes moving up towards the shin on the right side. You could even use your left hand to draw the right toes towards the right shin to get into that lower calf, back of that ankle area. One more deep breath. And then exhaling to replace the right foot down and planting the hands. You have a choice. You could take child's pose, you could take downward dog, or we can tuck that back toe under, lift the back knee, right foot joins left. Inhale in plank or tabletop. Exhale, we lower down with the knees on or off the floor. Inhale, the back bend. Exhale, back to downward dog or child's pose. So really you choose how much fire you want to include in this evening's flow. You can always totally skip the flow, just join us for the posture. So really let this be appropriate for you. That's the beauty of the online home practice. A couple more slow, deep breaths here. And then we're going to come to the other side. So looking forward, we're going to bring that left foot between the hands, or bring it forward with your hand, or step it forward. Release the right knee to the floor. Sink the hips. You can keep your fingertips on the floor here, or you can climb the hands onto the thigh, or you can come straight up to the full Anjaneyasana, crescent moon, by taking the hands up. Arms touch if available, or shoulder width apart. Look forward if you feel wobbly. If you feel okay, look up to your hands. And again, have that sense of integrity in the lower body, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, zipping up the lower belly, dropping the tailbone. Breathe deep. One more deep breath here, really opening the chest with that inhale. And as you exhale, take the hands down. Be very gentle with yourself as you slowly move the hips back and come into the half split. So keep the left heel where it is, walk the hands back, flex that left foot. If the floor is very far away, if you have a block, you could use a block, put the hands on the block, or even hands on the shin, but you're just going to be less stable. So you'll have to be a bit more careful. Dropping the head, maybe using that right hand to draw the left toes back to the shin. One more deep breath here. And then replacing the left foot down. Again, you can just come to downward dog or child's pose, or one more time, we're going to lift that right knee, left foot joins right for tabletop or plank, inhaling. Exhaling, lower down with the knees on or off the floor. Inhale, take that back bend, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, back, downward dog or child's pose. And just take a nice, slow, deep breath. Breathing into the back, spreading the fingertips, spreading the toes. Okay, and then it's very similar to before. We're just going to look forward and bring our right foot forward between the hands again and release the left knee down. So we're kind of coming into the same kind of position, but we're going to do something a bit different this time. We're going to take the left hand underneath the left shoulder, turn to the right and just place your right hand on your right hip. So just that for now. And then if it feels okay, we can reach the right hand up. So we're coming into a twist here. And then the final option, for those that want to, you can bend the left leg, and some of you might be able to bring the right hand back and hold the top of that left foot and draw it towards the buttock. This is optional, otherwise that foot's on the floor, or you could just keep it bent, strengthening the hamstring without the bind. Or you could keep your right hand on your hip, so go as far as you want. One more deep breath. If you've got the foot at the end of the exhale, release the foot. Come forward. This time we're just going to slide the right foot to join the left and just take a child pose. If you want to flow, if you're feeling that you need more fire, then don't let me stop you. But I myself am choosing to blend cooling with heating postures this evening. So child's pose is a very cooling posture. Keep the hands out, stretch those so we're ready to go into the other side. And then we'll go to the other side. So bringing yourself back up. The tabletop, stretch the left foot forward between the hands and sink the hips forward. We've got our right hand underneath our right shoulder. We're just going to start with taking the left hand onto the left hip and drawing that left shoulder back, looking back, and you're welcome to stay here. Otherwise, we take the left hand up. So it's a real twist here. We're pushing down through the right hand, reaching through the left hand. And then we can bend the right knee, strengthening the right hamstring. And final invitation for those that want to, you can take hold of the left foot, the right foot with the left hand, and maybe draw it towards the buttock a little bit, stretching that right quad. Couple more breaths. If you've got the foot at the end of your next exhale, release. Everybody bring that left hand down. And then again, if you really want to do a flow, please go ahead. Otherwise, again, coming back to that cooling posture, sinking hips onto heels, dropping the forehead to the floor. So really in yoga, the more we practice yoga, the more we get able to listen to our body and what it needs. And sometimes it needs a really fiery, dynamic practice. And sometimes it needs a more gentle, soothing, cooling practice. So if you need more fire, please flow. But otherwise, just enjoying the soothing, calming effect of child's pose, breathing into the back. All of it is needed at the right time. All of it is everything in balance. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up. We're going to take downward dog, or stay in child's pose if you prefer. Downward dog counts as a cooling inversion, but also a strong posture, blending fire and water. And then when you're ready, at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, drop the head. Rest through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the side. Take a moment here. Again, tune into what your body needs this evening. More fire or more water. We're going to move into a little sequence, warrior two into triangle. You're welcome to just join for the postures. Otherwise, we're going to, once again, flow ourselves there. So when you're ready, inhale, raise the hands, or stay in mountain pose if you don't want to flow. Exhale, drop the head, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank or tabletop, so knees on or off the floor, and inhale. Exhale, lower down with the knees on the floor or off the floor. Inhale, find that back bend, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, back to downward. Just pause, we're just transitioning through downward dog. Couple of breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward and step your right foot between the hands. Or again, come onto your knees and bring it forward. We're going to step the left foot in a little bit, like a foot's length forward to narrow the gap, with the left toes in front of the heel. And then we're going to climb the right hand onto the right leg and reach the left hand up. So we arrive in Trikonasana, our triangle. So we've got both legs straight, left hand's reaching up, right hand is on the leg or possibly on the foot or the floor for some of you. But try to keep the torso in line with the thighs, with the legs, try not to lean forward with the torso. So the chest is nice and open to the front. If it's okay on the balance, look up, otherwise looking straight ahead. One more deep breath. And then inhale, come all the way up and just pivot the hands, like wimble the hands so the left hand touches the left leg and the right hand reaches back, the legs still stay straight. So it's kind of like a strange reverse triangle. Inhale, come up and just widen the stance again. So take the feet a little bit wider, but hips still face the long edge of the mat. Inhale and exhale into warrior two. Look forward over your middle right finger. So we're reaching forward through the right fingertips, back through the left fingertips. There's a nice deep bend on that right leg. Knee is above or slightly behind the ankle. Connect with your pelvic floor, draw the lower belly in. Breathe deep. Couple more breaths. Again, bringing that fire back. And then, again, a bit like what we did with triangle, come into reverse warrior, by taking the left hand onto the left leg and reaching the right hand up and back. Trying to keep that deep bend on the right leg if it feels okay. One more breath, opening the right side here. Inhale to come up. Turn your right foot forward. So now all 10 toes point forward. We've got a nice wide stance. We're going to do that whole sequence on the other side, but kind of backwards. But in between, we're going to come forward. So bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, look up and open the chest, and exhale, take a forward fold here. When you get to your deepest fold, release the hands to the floor, drop the head, neck is nice and long, keep the jaw relaxed, keep the legs strong, inner arches of the feet lifting, draw the lower belly in and up towards the spine, connect to your pelvic floor. Deep breaths. The floor feels far away, you can always use a block under the hands. Really slow the breath down this evening. Slow, deep breaths are soothing and cooling. And then taking the hands forward, inhale, straightening the arms, opening up the spine. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. So we're staying with the wide legs. We're going to turn the left foot all the way out and the right foot in a little bit, but the hips stay facing forward. And we're going to come straight into warrior two. So inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, bend that left knee. And the left knee is above or slightly behind the left ankle. Looking forward over your middle left finger. Not forgetting the right arm, reaching back through the right fingertips. Breathing deep, fire posture, warrior posture. So maybe taking the breath a bit more powerful, ujjayi breath. Connecting to that pelvic floor. One more breath here. And then reverse warrior, right hand onto right leg, reach the left hand up or maybe back. We're opening the left side. We're trying to keep that fire burn on the front thigh. Great. Inhale, come up, straighten the left leg, and just walk the feet in a little bit. So just narrow the stance between the feet. And then again, same foot position, left foot's all the way out, right toes are slightly further in than the heels, so toes forward and heel on the right foot. Inhale, exhale, this time with the legs as straight as we can, we slide the torso to the left, bring the left hand down to meet the leg or the foot, and the right hand reaches up. So we've done the same sequence in reverse. Looking up towards the top hand or forward if the neck is an issue here. Keep the legs strong, keep the toes spreading. And then inhale, coming up, and we just do that final posture, windmilling the hands, right hand onto right leg, left hand over, but keeping the legs straight this time, hips still facing forward. Great. Inhale, come up. We're going to turn towards the front, pivot round, take the hands down either side of the front foot, and your choice, just step back to downward dog or child's pose, or again, if you're wanting that fire, take that little flow. This is second to last vinyasa of the flow part of the class. Coming to child's pose or downward dog for a few breaths here. And then we're going to step the left foot forward. So from downward dog or tabletop, bring the left foot forward. We're going to come into warrior one this time, so another fire posture, but we're taking it all really slowly, quite mellow this evening. So right toes are in front of the heel, the back foot's on the floor. Again, we bend that front leg, keeping that left knee bent with the back foot sealed to the floor and the hips facing forward. We take the hands up and we arrive in warrior one. Possibly bringing the palms together, if available, possibly looking up to the hands if we've balanced enough, otherwise look forward. So these warrior postures are more fiery postures because we're building that strength in the front thigh. We're just going to increase the fire for the last 3 or 4 breaths. So inhale, and as you exhale, take the hands forward. So you're drawing a straight line from your right heel to your fingertips. And hold for 3. Let your core. 2. And 1. Great. We're going to just swap sides. Inhale, come up, straighten the leg, and see if you can just pivot all the way around. So you're going to be facing the back of your mat. Might take you a few rounds to get there. So now the hips are facing the right foot. We bend the right knee is above or slightly behind the right ankle, hips face forward. Looking up to the hands, so we're finding that warrior one, Virabhadrasana one on the other side. Feeling that right thigh working here, connecting to your pelvic floor, your lower belly. And again, for the last 3 or 4 breaths, we take the hands forward, find that line from left heel to fingertips for 3, 2, 1, and then straighten the leg, turn all the way back round to the front, take the hands down, and then this is our last kind of vinyasa. So either straight back to downward dog or child's pose, or last time, plank or tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. And we're just going to pause in downward dog for a couple of breaths. Feel free to drop straight into child's pose if you wish. We're all going to move to child's pose in a moment. Otherwise, just a couple more breaths in downward dog. And then we're just going to, before we come back up, come into a wide knee child's pose. So bring the knees down, but kind of mat distance apart with the big toes touching. Sink the hips down onto the heels. Keep the hands outstretched for just the first couple of breaths. And then you might wish to bend the elbows, maybe hold the opposite elbow, rest the head on the forearms, or any other hand position that feels good for you. Or back by the feet, or keep them forward. But just drop into child's pose. So again, a cooling posture after the fire of the warriors, which we did in a pretty mellow way, but still strong energy. So just let that drop away. Come back to your slow, deep breath. Come back to feeling the support of the floor beneath you. Relax your face and your jaw. Great. And then from here, we're just going to come up to tabletop. We won't complete that last salutation. We're going to come down onto our bellies. So you can, again, just keep it mellow with the knees on the floor. Or if you do want that fire again, you can come into a plank. But either way, we're just going to slowly lower ourselves down, come onto our bellies, and just take the forehead onto the back of the hands for a moment, and just let yourself settle into this position, relaxing the shoulders and the back. Feeling your belly expand, soft, as you inhale, pressing the floor. And we're just going to do just 2 back bends here, but we're going to do one a little bit more fire and one more cool bend. So we'll get the fire out of the way first. So we're going to do the locust. It requires a lot of back strength, super good for us. So when you're ready, bring the forehead to the floor and bring the hands to the side. We're only going to do one, but I'm going to invite a change of position halfway through. So just follow my instructions. And if you get confused, just stick with the first position. Okay, so your fingertips are stretching back to the wall behind you, palms face up. As you inhale, we lift everything up. We lift the hands, the arms, the feet, the leg, the chest. And we're just balancing on the lower ribs, the belly, and the pubic bone. Doesn't need to be high. Keep the gaze to the floor. Keep stretching those fingertips back to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Keep breathing. Okay, we're about halfway through. Stay where you are. Otherwise, change your hand position so the palms are on the floor, somewhere around your waistline. So back towards your navel with the elbows kind of pointing up, and take about 3 more breaths if you can. Works different muscles in the back. Fiery posture in its own way. And then slowly lower down. Just have the hands by the side, turn a cheek to the side, just wobble the hips a little bit side to side if you need. Just allow the upper back to totally release here. Feel the support of the floor beneath you. And then we'll just do what I would say is a more cooling back bend. So we're going to come into the Sphinx. So when you're ready, just prop yourself up. I'm going to change my position, come closer onto your elbows and your forearms. And we want this to feel very mellow. So if even here, this is the Sphinx, if even this feels pretty challenging for you, just feel free to take the elbows further forward to decompress the spine a little bit. We just want to feel the same sense of front body opening, back working, but much less fire in this posture in terms of muscular effort. Gently press the pubic bone down, gently press the tops of the feet down, keep drawing the shoulder tips back. And sometimes we do this as a yin posture, like we'll hold this for minutes, so definitely one that we can hold for longer. If it's super intense for you, come out before I say, or move the elbows further forward. Otherwise, we're just going to stay for maybe another 5 to 10 breaths. If your back has issues and is complaining, come out whenever you need. Try to keep the buttocks relaxed. Keep the breath slow, soothing, regular. Take another 3 breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Releasing as you exhale again. Up to you. You can just rest the forehead on the back of the hands, or if you turned the cheek to the floor before, take the hands back and turn your cheek the other way. So look the other direction and stretch the other parts of the neck. Really just allow the shoulders to relax, the back to relax. If the lower back feels tense, just gently wobble the hips side to side, or pick up the feet and gently windscreen wiper the feet side to side. This can help release the lower backs. Take both feet one side and then the other. Let the lower back loosen. And then slowly lowering the feet down. If you raise them, we're going to return once again to child's pose and just add a twist. So time to put some twists in. So coming all the way back, bringing the hips onto the heels, keeping the arms outstretched for now. Keep the knees together to begin with, the fingertips pointing forwards. And then take the knees wide, keeping the big toes touching, and just press through the hands to lift up a little bit and feed your right hand underneath your right arm, underneath the left with the palm facing up, and come to lie on your upper arm. So the head is on the floor. So if the head doesn't find the floor, put a block under the head. Then you can keep the left hand where it is, maybe TPing the fingers to stretch the wrist, or you can lift up that left hand, take it all the way around. So we're going to start to move into a seated twisting practice. But in a kind of mellow way, not to bring too much fire into the class at this stage. This is a gentle twist for the spine. If you're taking your left hand up, reach all the way around for your right thigh with your fingertips. And draw that left shoulder back. And then if you wrapped your hand, just inhale to lift it up, exhale, press it down. Stay low, slowly bring yourself out and come in the same way. So kind of take those hands forward, but pressing so you've got space to feed the left hand underneath the right, as far through as it will go. Bring the side of the head to the floor or a block, and either keep the right hand where it is or reach it forward on the fingertips, or maybe inhale, take it up, exhale, take it round. You can either rest the back of the hand on the lower back, or you may be able to just find your thigh with your fingertips and draw the right shoulder back, deepening the twist. Slow, deep breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, if you wrap, bring that right hand back through, bring yourself up, draw the hands back towards you, bring the knees together, and bring the hips down to one side and stretch the legs forward. So I'm going to move into some twists. So we'll start with stretching the left leg forward and bringing the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh with the knee wide. You can support that outer thigh if you need. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, stretch the hands up. Exhale, take the left hand onto the right thigh, right hand behind, or maybe for some of you, you might pick up that right hand and reach all the way around for the left thigh, if that's there for you. Otherwise, keep it on the floor as support. Keep that left foot flexed, toes up to the ceiling. Left leg strong, looking over your right shoulder. So we start the twist from the navel, and the last thing to turn is the head, and we don't overstrain the neck. Breathe as deeply as you can. Always harder to breathe in twists, but do what you can here. And exhale, unwind. We'll come forward between sides. So inhale, stretch the hands up again. Exhale, forward fold. Over that shin. Hands reach whatever they reach. Thigh, shin, foot, drop the head. Slow, deep breath. And then at the end of the exhale, coming up. And one more posture with this leg. We're inhaling, taking the hands up again. And this time exhaling, taking right hand to the outside of left leg, either above or below the knee, maybe even the foot. And this time your left hand is your prop behind you. Or again, some of you might feel able to lift up the left hand and find the right thigh. Otherwise, it's a prop for support and you're looking over it or towards your left shoulder. Again, feel like you twist from the navel first and complete the twist with your head gently. Keep that left leg alive, toes to the ceiling. Keep the right foot alive. Next. And at the end of the exhale, coming forward. And we're just going to swap sides. So take that right leg forward, bring the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Knee wide, knee out to the side. So again, inhale, stretch the hands up, arms touch. Exhale, twist to the left. So right hand onto left knee, left hand behind you, or maybe all the way around, reaching for the right thigh, looking over your left shoulder. Right. Couple more slow, deep breaths. Keep the right leg active, toes flex up to the ceiling. Deep breaths. When we twist and breathe deep, we internally massage all our organs in the belly area. Exhale to unwind. Facing that right foot. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, come forward. Janu Shirshasana, dropping the head. Keep the right foot active, toes to the ceiling. Slow, deep, soothing, cooling breath. Regulate your breath. Even inhale, even exhale. Slowly coming up. The end of an exhale. When an inhale comes, use it to raise the hands, palms touch. Exhale, twist to the right. So left hand comes to the outside of the right leg, above or below the knee, maybe even for some of you connecting with the little toe edge of the foot. Right hand is your support behind you, or right hand reaches for the folded left thigh. Looking over or towards your right shoulder. Draw the lower belly in, connect your pelvic floor. Breathe as deeply as you can and twist. And at the end of your exhale, slowly unwind and swap legs again. Stretch your left leg forward, draw your right knee in. So bring your right heel towards your right buttock, and then if available, just cross the right foot so it's to the outside of the left knee. If you need to keep it on the inside of the knee, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to just deepen that outer hip stretch. So we're twisting again. Find your prop. Your right hand is your prop. Inhale, stretch up through the left side, and exhale, twist from the navel towards your right thigh, your bent right thigh. And you have choices. You can just hug the knee and the crook of the elbow, or you can press the elbow to the outside of the right knee. If you're very open here and it's possible, you could feed your right hand through the gap. Take the right hand around. Sorry, feed your left hand through the gap and take your right hand around the back and find the bind. This is optional. Keep the left toes active up to the ceiling and look over your right shoulder. Apologies if I got left and right confused again, then I think I might have done. You're looking good. And dropping down through your right hip, lifting up through the crown of the head. One more deep breath. Exhale to unwind. Inhale at the center. And just exhale, take an easy open twist. Just rest your right elbow on your right knee, turn to the left with the left hand behind you. Just take a couple of big breaths. Should be much easier to breathe now. Okay, and then you can either just stay where you are with the legs, or if it's possible, we're going to bend the left knee and bring the left heel to the outside of the right buttock. You might need to bring your right foot to the inside the left knee at this point, but if you can, you're going to walk your right foot back. So some of you might end up in Gourmakasana legs. So you've got a heel on the outside of each opposite hip. You might want to sit up on a block at this point. You might just have your right foot on the floor and the knee lifted either side of the knee. Okay, so just go as far as you want with this. We're not going to do the full Gourmakasana arms. We're going to take another twist. Okay, so just to begin with, fingertips on the floor, or if available, if the soles of the feet are there for you, the palms gently touch soles, and we draw the shoulders back and down, drawing the chin in, dropping down through the tailbone, drawing the lower belly in. Nice open chest. Take a couple of breaths here, maybe closing the eyes, 2 or 3 slow deep breaths. And then we're going to come into a twist. So inhale, stretch the hands up. Exhale, bring the left kind of forearm to the outside of the right thigh and the right hand behind you. Okay. This is if you're in Gourmakasana. If you've got your right knee lifted, then you just do what we did before. You hug the knee or you press your elbow to the outside of the knee. And you could also have your, you could be doing exactly what you were doing before. Okay, so go as far as you want with it. But if we're in the full Gourmakasana, then it's like your right forearm is pressing against, sorry, your left, what is it with lefts and rights tonight? Left forearm is pressing right thigh, right hand's behind you. My left fingertips touch the floor, but yours may or may not. Okay, so it's just a different twist. I find it a lovely opening for the hips as well as a spinal twist. And then slowly unwind, nice and gently. And we're just going to do that sequence on the other side. So just to come out of your full Gourmakasana, you might want to just take the hands behind. Everybody kind of unwind from wherever you've got to. Maybe you need to give the knees a bit of a rub. And we'll just do all of that on the other side. I might just turn a light on here. It's getting a little bit dark. That's a bit better. So right leg's extended, heel of the left foot's all the way in, and again, if possible, step it to the outside of the right knee. Left hand behind you. Inhale, stretch up through the right side, twist from the navel toward your bent leg, hug the knee in the crook of the elbow, or press the elbow to the outside of the knee, or maybe if it's there for you, you can feed the right hand through that little gap under the left thigh and find the left hand behind the back. Either way, right leg is alive, toes to the ceiling. We're looking over the left shoulder. Try not to go into an option that's so deep for you that you can't breathe fully. Breathe as fully as you can here. So in a way, less is more, trying to find the coolness, even in the fiery twist, through deep breathing. And then at the end of an exhale, unwind, come back to the center, just take an inhale at the center. And as you exhale, just take that nice, easy open twist. So just draping the left arm on the left knee, right hand behind you, nice open torso now. So just, you should be able to take 2 or 3 just really big, deep breaths into the front of the body here. And then unwind, and this is where you choose. You can do all of this next bit with the legs as they are, or we can lean over to the right, bend that right knee, bring the sole of the right, or the heel of the right foot to the outside of the left hip. And then we can choose to stay with this left knee bent either side of the right knee, or Gourmakasana, we start to walk the left foot back to the outside of the right hip, maybe sitting up on a block at this point if you're not already. If the soles of the feet are available, if you're in Gourmakasana, just gently press the palms to the soles, otherwise just whichever leg position you're in, just take the fingertips to the floor. Maybe close the eyes, maybe roll the shoulders up, back and down, nice open chest, drawing the chin in slightly, dropping down through the tailbone, gently drawing the lower belly in towards the spine. Feel grounded down through the sit bones, through the pelvis, feel the crown of the head ascending. Connect to your breath. And then again, our variation today is a twist. So your left hand is your support behind you. Oh no, we came in with our arms up, didn't we? So inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, we twist to the left and we bring the right kind of arm, forearm probably to the outside of the left knee, left hand behind, looking over the left shoulder. This is if you're in Gormukasana legs. So if you've got that left knee lifted, then you're just repeating that twist that we did before with the right leg either bent or straight. Slow, deep breaths. I really enjoy this variation of Gormukasana for the opening around the lower back and hips, as well as the twist in the spine. And exhaling to unwind. Again, take the hands behind you to unravel. We're going to come straight into a wide leg straddle. It should feel quite nice after all that compression, just maybe massaging the knees if you need. You can continue to sit on the block if you wish. Try to keep the toes pointing up. We're just going to continue with our twisting sequence one last time, and then we'll come onto our back. So from here, inhale, raise the hands. Exhale, turn to face your left leg, and you can just either take the hands down either side of the left leg, this might be enough, or again, right hand onto left thigh, left hand behind you, maybe for some of you all the way around for the right leg. So similar to what we've done, but legs in a different position now. Try to keep yourself on the base of the pelvis, evenly on the base of the pelvis, not kind of leaning too far over to the left side. Keep the right sit bone down too. Try not to lean too far forward or back, right on the base of the pelvis here. Crown of the head lifting away from the floor, pelvis connecting with the floor. And then at the end of an exhale, unwind, unravel. Inhale, stretch the hands up. Exhale, twist from the navel to face your right leg and either frame the right leg with the hands or left hand onto right thigh, right hand onto the floor behind you, or right hand reaching all the way for left thigh. And then just check where your weight distribution is. Are you evenly weighted between right sit bone, left sit bone? Are you evenly weighted between front rim of the pelvis and back rim of the pelvis? As best we can, try to even out how we're weighted on the pelvis. Keep the toes pointing up to the ceiling, legs active. And at the end of your exhale, unwind. And then finally, we'll come forward. You can just come straight forward, or one last time, you can inhale, raise the hands. Exhale, this time we take them down in front and just take a little walk as far forward as you want to go here, keeping the toes pointing up to the ceiling. Taking those nice, slow, deep, soothing breaths. So even if the postures get a little bit challenging, if we keep the breath regulated, smooth, slow, then it's a aid to our nervous system. It's a sign to our nervous system that we're okay. Soothing, the breath is soothing. Don't go so deep that you can't find that full, regulated, smooth breath. Don't compromise the breath. A couple more if you can. And at the end of your next exhale, slowly walking in. Just bring the hands behind the knees, bring the legs together. Just give yourself a little hug, make yourself really small for a moment, dropping the head onto the knees, forehead or chin. And then when you're ready, meet me on the floor on your back. Slowly lower yourself down. We'll make space for a nice long 5-minute shavasana. So we just got time for a few stretches on our back, keeping it all. We're more in the cooling phase now. So let's just take an outer hip stretch. So just keeping your left foot on the floor, flex the right foot, take the outer ankle onto the front of the left thigh. You can keep the left foot there or pick it up, feed the right hand through that gap underneath the right lower leg, take the left hand around the outside of the left leg, hold the back of the left knee, or hold the front of the left shin. Should be feeling this as a stretch on the outer right hip and maybe lower back, maybe the inner thigh, just noticing where you're feeling it and just taking those slow, deep, soothing breaths into that part of the body or those parts of the body, keeping the face relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And then slowly release. So just going to simply swap sides. So take the right foot down to the floor, flex the left foot, outer left ankle on the front of the right thigh. Stay there. We'll pick up the right foot, take the left hand through that gap, right hand around the outside. And then we're holding the front of the right shin or the back of the right knee. Back and shoulders are relaxed. We keep the left foot flexed, but everything else relaxes, the face, the back. The right foot can be floppy and relaxed. The face is relaxed. Focusing on those breaths, those regulated, slow, deep breaths, soothing the nervous system, even as we go into possibly quite intense sensations in the body. You can self-regulate with the breath. And then at the end of the exhale, release everything down. So we're not going to do a full back bend at this stage. If you really, listen to your body, if your body's really needing a strong dynamic back bend, I'm not going to stop you, okay? I honor your body's wisdom, but my invitation is to keep things much more low key. We're just going to do a little bit of scaravelli work for the spine, super therapeutic for the spine, and going into an inversion and then shavasana. So before we go into this spinal work, just take the heel of your hands into your groins. So they're sitting just below your hip bones with the fingertips pointing up towards your knees. And you gently push the thighs away and slightly up. And you might just feel like a stretchy feeling around the sacrum and a slight increase in the arch in the lower back. And then we slowly let go and allow the sacrum to sink and melt back into the floor. Well, I hope you can feel this. I absolutely love this. It's very therapeutic for the sacrum, which carries a lot of tension. So we'll just do that one more time. Heel of the hands, just below the hip bones, right in the groin, push away and slightly up, and you might feel this kind of feeling of stretch around the sacrum, that bony plate just above the buttocks, base of the spine. Just breathe out with a slightly increased arch in the lower back, and then we slowly release the pressure, like a feather floating back towards the floor. That slow, that gentle, feeling the skin around the sacrum reconnect to the floor, feeling the bone of the sacrum reconnect to the floor, and just kind of melting into that and feeling the heavying of the sacrum melting into the floor. Just breathe through your sacrum for a moment. And then for the scaravelli back work, we're just going to inhale. As we inhale, we start to roll the sacrum off the floor, like tilting the pelvis up to about halfway up the spine. It's not a big movement. And as we exhale, we place the vertebra back down from the mid back to the sacrum. And at the end of the exhale, there's a rock forward. So you feel that overarch in the lower back. You tilt the pelvis the other way. So it all happens with the breath as best we can. Inhaling, tilting the pelvis up towards the ceiling, lifting the spine off the floor, vertebra by vertebra. Exhale, placing them back down, placing the sacrum down, and then rolling tilting the pelvis the other way to increase the arch in the lower back. So you might feel yourself shunting, the torso shunting backwards and forwards as you do this. This is normal. As you exhale and tilt the pelvis the other way, you kind of shunt the whole upper body towards the bottom of your mat a little bit. And then as you come back into the inhale, it moves back into the previous position. So we're just rocking the pelvis up and down to about the mid back, below the bra strap. We don't need to go too high. Again, unless your body's crying out for that. Otherwise, keep it slow and subtle and more around the sacrum. Next time you come to the end of the exhale, just come to a neutral spine. Just take a big breath or so in the neutral spine. And last thing before Shavasana, again, if you really need a strong inversion, take it. But my invitation is really gentle. We're going to take the hands underneath the buttocks with the palms down, just to ever so slightly elevate the hips, and simply take the legs up into the air for about 5 to 10 slow, deep breaths. So just the hands are lifting the hips, so it's not that high, but it's enough to create that small inversion. Keep the feet flexed, more or less. And just feel that lovely, relaxing feeling of taking the legs up. Connect with your breath. Do another 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly just bending the knees, take the feet down, lift the hips to release your hands. And we're ready for Shavasana. If you need one more thing, maybe hugging the knees into the chest or a little happy baby, then take it. But if you're ready, come straight into Shavasana. Maybe a bolster under the knees. Make sure you're warm enough. And get yourself comfortable. I don't think we're going to manage the 5-minute Shavasana I wished we would have. And we're probably going to run over just by a few minutes. So if anybody has got an issue with that, just wave at me now so I can tell you when we get to 1/4 past. Great. Otherwise, we'll just give ourselves a good 3 or 4 minutes here. So just allow the body to totally surrender effort to the support of the floor. Check you're not carrying tension in the face, the jaw, the eyes, the cheeks, the belly. Just know, sense, feel all these different qualities of energy are within us at all times. The fire, the heat, the fire, the dynamic energy, and the cooling, soothing water energy. And trusting in the wisdom of the body to show us what we need. And then just let go, relax, relax. As always, if you have time and want to stay here for longer, please take that time as a gift to yourself. Take a longer Shavasana. If you wish to close with me, begin to deepen the breath. Going to bring movement back to the body, fingers, toes, head. And just take any stretches that feel good, knees to chest, arms overhead. And gradually return to seated. Or just stay exactly where you are. If you're closing with me, we'll just close the class with Anjali Mudra, arms together, center of the chest, maybe just closing the eyes. And just for a moment, you can bow your head to your hands or just internally express gratitude to yourself for taking this time to practice this evening, for your body, your amazing body, for allowing you to do these things, and for anything else that you're grateful for in this moment and in the practice. Conscious gratitude. And when you feel complete, opening the eyes. Namaste. Thank you for sharing practice. I hope you feel cooled and soothed and a little bit fiery too. And I'll see you soon.